What is happening, guys? Call D Black Ops Kid here, coming out to you with a Skater XL full game review. Now, I ended up reviewing this game on June 16, 2019, so it's about a year old, and this game's been rumored to come out for quite a while now. And now the game's finally ready for a release. Now it's coming out on pretty much it came out on pretty much every console, PC, Xbox One, PS4, and even somehow Nintendo Switch. But yeah, the game's pretty fun. It still has the same exact core elements. I've been playing the beta, so I had access to like the mini ramp stuff, and of course the controls you have to get used to, as the right stick controls your right foot, the left stick controls your left foot, and you kind of just pop tricks with using basically the orientation of actually how to skate. So it's probably one of the most um best skateboarding games out there when it comes to realism because you actually control your board. I know Skate has like actual skating mechanics, and a lot of people are calling this game trash already just by looking at the trailers. But like I've said, you actually have to be able to play a game to understand how the game works. So, um, there's a couple new skate parks. There is on top of the at West LA Courthouse, the California skate park, which were the original games. There's now downtown Los Angeles, East Day High School, and the Big Ramp. Now, there's some benefits to each and every single level. Of course, we'll start with the two original ones and work on to the other three. The West LA Courthouse is probably one of the most influential skate spots, bought by I think Paul Rodriguez or Plan B. I can't remember exactly who, but it's basically a rendition of a like public plaza that people skate. And honestly, it's probably one of the more polished versions. Although it's probably one of the smallest areas in the game, compared to the newer areas. It's a lot of fun. One other weird aspect to the game that I failed to mention is the fact that turn with the right and left stick instead of like left stick, obviously, because left stick's to control your left foot. So a lot of the times I kind of go back to traditional skate games, and I just try and use my left stick to turn, which you can actually turn on flat ground. Don't get me wrong, but that turns into some wacky skateboarding. So it's a really good plaza, lots of flat ground grinds, not really gaps to do, and that's apparent in the other park, as we'll see here in just a second. But it's a really fun plaza. There's a lot of nice transition, or there's a lot of nice like little transition grinds, and it kind of gets you kind of warmed up to the game before you going into the other areas. But definitely the other areas are what make this game shine the most. You can't get off your board in this game. You can only press Y to basically pick a spot, like a session marker, and then pressing up on D-pad will spawn you at that location. So there's a couple of different things compared to like other traditional skate games. I wish that you could get off your board, but at the same time, pressing Y to choose a session marker instead of having to walk everywhere is kind of nice. Um, you can also grab holding LB and RB, and then pressing up, left, right, or down on the left stick or right stick will tweak or make it a different grab. So of course, getting away from that, we'll go to the California skate park. This is one of the most popular. I forget exactly what park this is, but this one has some pretty decent gaps. Got some transition in this one compared to the courthouse. And one thing when you go off like ramps or pools or anything like that, feels like your character is just has amazing ollie, because he can just ollie like freaking double his height. Which that's probably one of my biggest gripes with the game is air. You can pretty much land any trick at any given time ever. So if you happen to like when we review the big ramp, you can pretty much land any move anywhere and land on any kind of obstacle, which is kind of unreal. compared to even like Skate for one of the more unrealistic sims compared to this, because you can literally just ollie insane gaps and literally land into Manny or even land, you know, while flipping, because you can do a like a 2060 tray flip 900 and land like off the ramp. It's kind of unrealistic. That's one of the more things that I have a gripe with. Other than that, the game's pretty decently solid. They also added tricks to the top left hand corner of the screen. So you can see whether you're doing a kickflip, lip slide, blunt, 180, back 180, backside flip, gazelle flip, big spin flip, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of cool to see that because, Skate 3 or, didn't have like that advanced of movement in the skate games. And I will say that this game, it's being early, so I will say that and there's still a lot of improvement to work, especially even the map design. While we're still talking, we'll do downtown Los Angeles. Even in downtown Los Angeles, even just moving around the map, you can see some like unpolished things. Although this is definitely the either one of the best or the most bustling areas in the game. Um, there's a lot of weird collision and hit detection on some of the map parts. Especially if you go into session marker, you can actually go inside of big buildings like this one right here, and just everything fades out of existence. You can do that with pretty much any of the tall buildings in the center of the map. It's kind of odd. I'm not sure why this works, but it does. I think it's only the three center buildings. I don't think any of the other buildings do this, but it's really odd. I'm not sure why it does this. You can actually fall through the map on this building here, I think. This one right here. Yeah, this one. Yep, there we go. I just fell through. And there's a missing texture right there. I mean, it's a rough game. So there's like mini challenges you can do, especially in they have each of the maps have their own special type of challenges as well. Um, which is kind of fun actually. I like these a lot because um they have like I said, they have their own sets of challenges that it gets you familiar with some of the games that you wouldn't have done personally yourself. So like that's one of the things I'll say is that um like I said, every little mission has their own little quirks. You can learn transition, you can learn different tricks like you'll do like tray flip in, nose manny, tray flip out. It's kind of cool actually. I like these kind of like little mini challenge areas things. East Day High School, I will say, has is probably one of the bigger ones too. Of course, the new areas that added, especially with my gripes when I did the original review about a year ago. I was waiting for something new, something bigger area, something along those lines. And in this map, you have huge area. Sometimes there's a lot of bland spots, especially with the other map too. A lot of bland areas that you can just, there's nothing to do. But there is a lot of unique landmarks and you know unique landmarks and buses on top of roofs, big gaps, stairs, and it seems like there's a lot of like other aspects taken from other skate spots and stuff like that. So I will say that the newer maps are a definite improvement, and hopefully they continue to do bigger things, especially with um, big DLCs maybe. I don't really want a DLC. I only paid $20 for the game. I bought the alpha essentially, or the like pay now on Steam, and to maybe not get a game ever. And it's kind of turned out nice because now I think the game is $40, and now that there's a full retail release, maybe they'll actually they'll tend to the game a little bit more than what they were, especially when they were in like open alpha or whatever. I mean, even back then, the game was still pretty good. They've definitely made more improvements. They've added characters, you know, character customization, added new maps. And like I said, the maps are definite improvement onto the base game for sure, 100%. There's a lot of new creativity, a lot of new good spots, and definitely more of what I suited for the game when it was supposed to be coming out earlier last year. Um, and I haven't really messed around with the camera mode. I can't really do a lot of the camera stuff. I don't know why. Skate 3 was more my strong suit when it came to that stuff. So I'm not going to really talk about that, but that's probably one of the better things I've heard is a lot of people boast good. The map, the big ramp. Now, the big ramp is a freaking giant map out in the middle of nowhere, and you can just skate on the ramp, or you can skate on the freaking ground. I don't know why they let you skate on desert sand. It's very interesting. I don't know why they did this, but hey, it's that's freaking early gains for you. Whether or not this was, I don't know if this was added like really early or added late. Um, this has got a lot of polish. It feels like it's got more polish to it. Maybe it was like a test ramp they were doing. Um, but in the other maps, you can actually even in doing the spawn creator, you can actually see outside the map even through like solid ground. So I don't know why they did some of that stuff, but that's what I'm talking about right there. How I just landed that. I don't even know. Um, yeah, but it's a pretty fun game. Like I won't deny it at all. Um it feels more like a skate game than it does like any other kind of skate game. Overall review, I'd probably say an 8 out of 10. It's a really good game. Needs a little bit more polish. There's some wacky stuff to it, but just do some of the missions if you need some help on doing certain things. Like I didn't even know later until the game uh, that you could actually just pop right out of ground. Oh my god, I did a 1980 hard tumble, and that's one of the things about the game is that it's just definitely kind of weird and interesting, but it's fun as hell actually. So yeah, so uh yeah, 8 out of 10. It needs a little bit more original, like a story mode, something to like drag you into the game more than just playing it. Like if you had a reason to play it, like a story mode, something like that, I think the game would be even more enjoyable. I do like the addition to like challenges and stuff like that. Probably one of the better things about the newer updates, especially with the newer maps. Basically, the newer update compared to the original added 3 maps, challenges, and some updates to the stuff. That's pretty much it. So if you guys like the original Skater XL, you'll definitely enjoy the newer Skater XL 1.0. Hopefully, doing additional content in the future. Maybe use some user created levels that people have been doing. So, thank you guys so much for watching. See ya in the next one. Bye.